And we're live. Did you miss me? Did you miss me? What's up, everybody? I am the High Priestess Phoenix. I am your spiritual healer, teacher. Oh, shit. Shaman, seer, oracle, lightworker, starseed, earth angel, mystic, medium, psychic, witch, yogi, guru, evangelist, North American Sybil, messenger of God, the first child of God. I am the LILITH reincarnated. Today is Wednesday. It's Mercury Day. We're giving speeches and whatnot. Getting back into our little teachings here, or what I can. I was just going to check the cards, and then I remembered what I posted in my community page. And I'm like, I think I need to find something on that, but I don't even know where. I don't think I have any information on that. What did I post? Out of nowhere, I was guided to post some information about transcendental beings. I don't say that in my intro, but that's what all of that is a transcendental being, according to science. There's those people that only believe in science. It's kind of funny because, okay, dickheads. Okay, I see where you're going with this, dickheads. Who's doing this? Who's doing this? Metatron. We're already in his, we brought his information up sooner. I don't have any information about a transcendental being. Perhaps in the Pleiadian book, I guess. What is a transcendental being? Me. But that's what science calls them. They don't call them gods and shit like that. They don't call them all that shit. They have to have a fucking scientific name for what it is. And what it is just a person that has a different, has an excelled consciousness that's not of this world. Where did I go to? I don't know. Your electric network is, okay. Come on, why is it? All right. Let me breathe. I really was just going to pull 3 cards and tell you what it is. They got me in the Pleiadian book. You know what I noticed? Can I tell you something weird? I just noticed right now. And that's all I do. And that's what I told the chick. I was like, I'm in the spiritual world. I see synchronicities and patterns. Really. I was like, yeah. I was like, there's no coincidences. They're patterns, synchronicities, things align so that you can break codes. They're puzzle pieces that are sitting right in front of our face. These aha moments waiting to be discovered. Okay, so with that being said, your best understanding of a transcendental being is to understand the workings of the mind. It's more of a, it's more science and education is, you know, medicine and science is how this will kind of come into play. It's beyond spirituality and religion. It's the science and medicine terminology for what I am. It's, again, I always tell you guys that I'm teaching you the Christ consciousness. That is a consciousness. So then if we were going to use words with that, we would be going through Maslow's hierarchy of needs, was one of the basic blueprints of how you ascend consciously or unconsciously, because it all is unconscious. You leave the conscious mind. Then we use a lot of, what I specialize in is the shadow, because I am the dark goddess. So we use Carl Jung's teachings. And then, Dante had explained, through that whole trip, the Divine Comedy was talking about how you went through purgatory and the inferno, and then how you went through all of the levels and blah, 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 blah. But when you go into science and medicine, it's not about IQ. It's conscious. It's a consciousness. It's meaning you're using a different part of your brain waves and all that. And that's where I sit down and they put that little helmet on and we do all these little stupid things and pushing lights and stuff. Now, what I said was, as I was about to open this, I was like, there's specific times I always end up in the Pleiadian book. But what I was about to say is, I just realized the fucking full moon's right around the corner. I'm always in the Pleiadian book when I'm in a moon cycle. So just to top it off, all this new change got through a moon cycle on me today, in the middle of everything. And I had said it yesterday, I think I can do this job on a moon cycle. What's a moon cycle? A period. It comes every cycle. It's the same as the fucking moon. I align with the fucking planets and shit. So what I realized right there was like, I didn't realize, I wasn't thinking about the full moon, because I always say I pull this book out around the full moon. But what I noticed right then was I pull this book out every time I'm cycling. Really? I bet we could find the pattern. That's what they did. That was that aha moment. I bet you we could find the pattern. Now, mind you, my cycle was off. I was on a new moon cycle. Then I went into a full moon cycle by the new year. You serious? Yeah, bro. It's alignment. I didn't do it. I mean, you clean out your chakras and stuff, and that's how it is. So I'm having an okay moon cycle in the sense of they're getting, you know, the healing inside comes from the emotional healing and the mental healing that we do, is what I'm saying. But anyways, I was just looking for a definition of some kind of transcendental bullshit, and when I pulled out this book, I caught that. It's like, you always pull out this book when you're on a period. And then I was like, no, I always pull out this book when I'm around a moon cycle, or the full moon. And I was like, well, we're almost to the full moon, which is on the 11th. Now, mind you, I'm an Egyptian, so I live in the future. Which means, son of a bitch, I just felt that too. Watch this. Our 10-day forecast has changed, and I'm not on top of my shit. I don't stay on a calendar, dude. Do you see that? That's what my daughter, she went to her first doctor's appointment. They're like, when was your first day of your last period? I was like, oh, you better learn that. She's, did you know there's an app for that shit now? Hey, bitches, they said there's an app that you could put it in there. So, I need to put that. Hey, give me that app. We're going to get that app, because today's the first day of the rest of my life, is what I heard. Hold on, I got to find the 10-day forecast. It's coming in. What is? New energy. Obviously. This is what happens when I pull out the Pleiadian cards. If you guys are with the Pleiadian book, if you've never... Oh, dude, they're so intense. You can't keep up with me, and here it comes. It's all flowing super fast. What? Like water? Shut up. That's not funny. And I've got 40 cards, 40 fucking decks I'm trying to dig through right now to get this, to just look at the date, because I guarantee you it's coming up. This 10-day forecast is changing. Why? Because I live in the future, bro. And that's what I just shared in my community page. Transcendental beings are before time. The essence of time. The goddess is time and space. I mean, we don't exist in time and space. We exist in all time, at all times, taking up space. Where the fuck are those cards? Okay, breathe. Breathe. Sorry, they just flooded me, and one of them is in my... Okay, breathe. See, when I touch all these cards, I'm getting downloads. I'm like, just stop talking. One of them, I've got one of them in my hand, which is part of the 10-day forecast. I keep 3 of them together. So, these are all better. I just want to make such a big mess. I have no choice. I just pull out all my cards and be an asshole. Seriously? Yeah, seriously. I'm looking for my Egyptian cards and I can't find them. There they are. Okay. You're like, really? Yeah, I feel it, dude. I feel it in my jellies. I don't know what day of the week it is. Let's check the calendar. We're in June. June 9th. I told you, bitches. What's today? Oh, I see. I feel it. I'm way ahead of schedule. Because as well as that, that's what I'm saying. The fucking full moon is on June 11th. Wow. I'm like fucking 5 days in the future. That's wild. That's wild, bro. Okay, I feel it. What do I feel? Whatever the change of the energy. You want to know what it is? If I feel it now, we can, you know what I mean? It's now. Respect and admiration. Yeah. Praise me. Praise me. Bow down. Bow down. Okay, anyways, we'll wait until then because why not? God will remind me again. But I felt it. I felt like we're living in the future. We're not, just that the energy's already here, but they say it doesn't come till then, so we'll wait till whenever, you know. I always catch it first. You saw it. Now, going back to this stupid book, I turned to a page, and I'm going to tell you about this page. I don't know. It's just pulled to it, and that's it. You just take things out of... No, I put things into context. This was not what I was going to tell you, but I guess we're going to find it out, because you know what they told me to do after this? Is get the quantum tarot for the nerdies. Pull up your suspenders, guys. Fucking pull out your pens and papers. What are we talking about here? Alright, the Pleiadian workbook, Awakening Your Ka. I shared some information about that in my community page. If it's recent and relevant, fine. It's your Ka channel. Where's the Ka channel? It goes way back to the Egyptians, bro. Way back. Alright, so I'm trying to find a way to tell you what a transcendental being is, and they took me to page 162 and 163. The dolphin brain repatterning. We're right back where we started. It has to do with your thoughts. You have to work through your thoughts to get out of your conscious, to get out of your brain, bro, to get out of your mind. You need to leave the context of what your mind has created, so you need to work through every thought that you have created in your mind and eliminate it. Not eliminate it, reprogram it, which means give it more... breathing room. You can't be so narrow-minded. Ugh. And with that, I saw the most unbelievable post about Trump. The comments, bro. The comments were worse. I can't even. Talking about narrow-minded idiots. Anyways. Okay, I'm just going to start at the top of this page because it starts in the beginning of not a sentence, obviously, but it starts at the beginning of a paragraph. We're going to just read this. This is usually how it happens. I never see them come in, and all the next thing I know, I'm blah in the other worlds. Dolphins operate from both sides of their brains at the same time, whereas humans at this time act from one or the other side of their brain. See, I told you, that's why I was like, I need an answer, and the answer was right here, and I was like, as soon as I opened it, I was like, oh, I just happened to notice it was on a period day, but it was also it's always near the full moon, which means we're just like ahead of schedule. We're not, but we are. It's weird. Hold on a second, I'm having a moment, bro. This has happened before. It's not deja vu, bro. It happened before, but that one was weirder. I'm completely ahead of time. And that's what I was trying to tell you. Transcendental beings are the very definition of time. There's no existence of time. We enter the energy. We enter the fields. And as the gatekeeper, when I open that door is when I open that door. If I chose to open that door right now, I could unleash that energy right now, because that's what I do as a gatekeeper. All right, let's go back to this. Monkeys. Why do I call you monkeys? It has nothing to do with any of it. Science says that you were a fucking monkey before you became what you are. Science says that you were a primate, that you evolved from monkeys. Go to the Nature and Science Museum. They'll tell you all about yourself. These guys hate being told about themselves. That's why I laughed. Fucking monkeys. People hate that for all different reasons, but it's not what you think. Like, you don't want to accept there's one of two. You're a monkey. We're talking to the science guys, because Bill Nye, the science guy, might need to know something about spirituality. In your fucking dolphin brain. Do you call him on your dolphin phone? Ace Ventura. All right, here we go. Christian, stop. I need you to actually take a shower and get ready for, another day. It has been said that dolphins see humans as being asleep. Oh gosh, can you just leave me alone, Holy Spirit? I turned on my phone for 5 seconds. Then I saw that Max Verstappen said he was not going to participate in Pride Month because something being woke. All right, it has nothing to do with woke people. I'm so woke. But what it has to do is they use the woke. They had to put a word on this shit, didn't they? I'm here for the awakening, okay? Woke people are people that are accepting of change and are influencing change in the sense of unity, balance, compassion, understanding, forgiveness, and elimination of pure devastation and negativity. They call us woke. But for whatever reason, they want to say the whole LGBTQ plus community is all awoke. No, they're not. Very narrow-minded and dumb. You just don't really know that. You think that you just want to pair them up with people that are awakened. No, they're not. But we'll take the colorful, happy people too, because they're better than you. But in the sense of, these people are not woke. Going back to Max Verstappen, I was very disappointed in your narrow mind, but I know your father, and the sins of the father are passed down to the son, and you come from a fucking, a goofy country where they don't accept that shit. And then you come from a fucking culture of Formula One where they don't accept that shit. And you go to all these places that don't accept that shit. You're not so accepting. You haven't met no cool gay peoples or LGBTQ peoples. I'm bringing your ass to it, dude. Max Verstappen has never, ever, and that's most of these foreign motherfuckers, he's working during the summer. He is at a race. And most of the time, it happens during a race, and it's all this thing, and he don't want to be part of it, but he's looking at him, and his country's looking at him like, you better not be a faggot. Whatever. So he has to act, he is a representation of his country, he is a representation of his family, he's a representation of the car, he's supposed to represent. So in essence, he has to draw a line of where he can and cannot represent, and you got to understand he can't represent us because he would have to turn, against, he would pretty much be a faggot by representing faggots. And I use that word because it's so harsh to, these countries, bro. They're just like so against this stuff. But it's passed on tradition. I'm not to say, like, if he found out one of his closest friends was gay, after the fact, he would, because of his cultural beliefs, and this is why we reprogram that stupid brain of yours, he'd have to, by the teachings and the restrictions of his brain, have to, let this person go. I don't think he could challenge his heart, and that's where the heart comes in. There's the logic of the mind, and then there's the heart. You know what I mean? Lord forbid his dad came out and said he liked, he was totally gay or something. You know what I mean? It's like, would you be accepting of your child? Would you be accepting of somebody? You've never been about this, you've hated and persecuted all these people, but what if it was one of your people? And then you find out how really narrow-minded they are. And that's like, nobody asked to be that, and so salute the LGBTQ that has to stand against the world and people like you, but at the same time, forgive them, because really, this kind of ignorant motherfuckers is taught by the ignorant parents. Ignorant. People hate that word too. All the words you dislike, I'm going to give to you in big fat spoonfuls. Take it. And now, let it go out. And that's what it means, to not let this stuff be so, whatever. Anyway, so going back to your brain. This is about your brain. And your brain, with or without drugs. Just kidding. This is because, okay, so they said something about woke. They see humans as asleep. This is because dolphins sleep by turning off first one side of their brains, then the other, keeping one side functional at all times. It is so fairly commonly understood that average human beings utilize about 5 to 10% of their brain capacity. Well, I said something like that in the beginning, but I didn't know how much of your brain you use. All right. This is an evolutionary factor and not normal conditions in humans. I just want to point out God had a plan. I'm just sitting in my car and he said, post all this shit, and then look at where he got me. You poster. I'm a poster child. At least there's good jokes along the way. All right. You are intended to become a whole brain. Listen here, Pinky in the brain. Being like the dolphins, who are elder brothers and sisters to the human race. Dolphins were sent to Earth prior to human colonization. Here comes one of those science words. You fucking test tubes. All right, now we're really pissing off. Kanye, I'm talking to you and your test tube babies. To prepare the evolutionary frequencies and patterns. They are highly evolved light beings who are lovingly dedicated to the fulfillment of human spiritual evolutionary goals. Hey, Milia, tell them that weird thing about dolphins. The weird thing that they do, that they're known for.
Oh, they're the rapists of the sea.
There's too many stories about dolphins raping people. You serious? I'm serious. Go look it up. My daughter, I saw it before she saw it, and she told me. I was like, yeah, I know. I don't know any other fucking animal in the world that tries to rape human beings. God's got such a sixth sense of humor. Such a funny thing. Sorry. I'm full of funny stuff, right? Alright, let's get to the real stuff, I guess. I can't ever read this book without making fun of some shit. Alright, anyways. You're intended to become a whole brain. Yeah. Where is this? Dolphins were sent to Earth prior to human colonization to prepare the evolutionary frequencies and patterns. Yeah, sonars and shit. They are highly evolved light beings who are lovingly dedicated to the fulfillment of human evolutionary goals. So why do we need to become whole brain beings? Without whole brain function, you remain split off from your own spiritual wholeness, your connection through oneness to God, Goddess, and all that is. In order to acknowledge, wake up! Wake up. It's the 4th of the month. Such a goofball. I mean, seriously, this is what it's all about. I guess you didn't want to hear it the other way, but you're going to hear it the same way. And you know where this ends? Leave that. That's no longer... See, I could leave you right now on that note. I did my job, God. All right. This electrical system is literally the communication link through which your spirit speaks and creates in the physical world. Can I start over with that? In order to attain whole brain function, you must both spiritually evolve and physically. You have to do this. Take actions physically. That means movement physically in the real world. Physically heal the electrical system in your brain. And that's where we go through your thoughts and we reprogram them, bro. We go and reevaluate where they came from, why you feel this way, and we tell ourselves, we brainwash ourselves, bro, into thinking good shit. Really? Christ shit. All the things that God, we take all that out and we put God in there. You're serious? That's what we do. That's what I do. Every time I go back to a thing, I see it like I see it and how everyone sees it, and I see the big picture. But then I hear from my heart what God says to see, how he sees it. And I tell myself to see it how God sees it, and I tell you what God says to see. So you see what I see. Do you see what I... Okay, stop with the songs. Okay, it's not one of my shows without a song. And that's how this happens. You go back to these moments and you reevaluate them. You see them from a higher perspective, and then you see them through Christ's eyes with forgiveness, compassion, and understanding. You reprogram this electrical system that was, again, trauma that was created inside of your brain that runs through your chakras all the way down your spine and is hidden within your body. That's when it pulls from your DNA, and that's when you get these fucked up fucking alchemical transmutation side effects that I've listed off in so many of my videos. When you pull the thought out of your brain, that thought ran through your whole body. You acted in that thought. That thought ran through your whole body. You could feel it in your toes. We got to pull that whole thought out. And your body's gonna, you know what I mean, act funky. It's like I've described this as it's like a organ transplant, putting in a new thought and acting in that new thought and not letting that old program try to react. And that's the alchemical, that's the magnum opus. First you see the thought, something triggers it, right? That's that tower. Something triggers past trauma, or it creates it's a real life current trauma, you think, but it's just life. But it's triggering a past trauma or a pattern. And this is your opportunity to break down the pattern and reprogram this pattern. If you do not, the pattern continues, where you're on a karmic loop of you didn't learn your lesson, so you're going to do this again. Welcome. If you needed the scientific. But I like to sing and talk about stupid shit and all of that, and it's, you know, what we're doing is spiritual, but it is very science and medicine. I'm part of all of this. Bring in philosophy, religion. It's a oneness, bro. God is in all things. Moving on. This electrical system is literally the communication link with your spirit, which your spirit speaks and creates in the physical world. And that's it. After you pull out the minds, and that's what I tell you. I don't have thoughts. If I have thoughts, they're created from my outside world where it comes to a conclusion and I work through that. Or it's a thought that's attached to a past version. Otherwise, my mind is clear and all I get is, you know what I mean? This communication, my communication link, downloads from God, visions, and you know what I mean? That bullshit. All right, any blockage in your electrical system inhibits your spirit and master presence from fully embodying. And that's what we said. You need to clear that out and make room for your soul. So your soul can step in. You have to do the hard work. And that's what my whole awakening is. Jeez, you scared me. You just walked. I know you just got up and went out the door, though. That was scary. Okay. You literally have to do the hard work, and that's what it was, is I was working through my thoughts and my feelings to see why my life was so fucked up. After I worked through all of my thoughts and my feelings, I created, that's where I connected with my higher self, and that's where all these visions and stuff comes. After, the longer I did it and the longer I did it, where there was no darkness, you know what I mean, not much left in there, then I could fit in, which is the higher self, my awakened self, which is my reincarnated self, where I became aware of who I was before I put on the skin. Now I could be that person again because, you know, the person that lived in their skin, which was nothing more than the thoughts, were erased. Really? Yeah, it's pretty much what we describe over here over and over every fucking week. It's called the journey of the dark night of the soul. Get ready. Friday's coming with one of those pattern breaking opportunities. So there's always a shadow work on a Friday, which is in essence what I don't tell you. The quickest way to tell you is there's always tragedy and trials on a Friday. It's a fucking tower on a Friday. We have to face a tower to face our healing. Something will always come between Thursday night and Friday night. It's in that period. And mine will catch, you know, if I'm living in the future, it catches pretty fast. I need you to stop. Or just go outside and play. You've been in all day. I'll take you out myself. Shit. So every Friday you're pushed into, and that's why on a Friday? Because we're in Venus. Friday is by Venus. It's your heart. So your outer world, your heart pushes pushes the darkness, the pain, the suffering, all of that to your brain on a Friday. Something pushes your fucking limits on a Friday. It's an opportunity for you to go deep and reprogram your brain. You go through a lot of grief and sadness about this on a Saturday. Saturn, you're pushing your limits on a Saturn, right? Then on Sunday, you're in the truth about it and you're in the light. You've made it through the dark night of the soul through a Friday and a Saturday, and now you're in the light on a Sunday. On a Monday, Moon Day, you're in your mind and your emotions about it. On a Tuesday, you have strength because you've overcome it, and now you're getting prepared. You know, so on Wednesday you tell your speech, your testimony, which would be Bible study. Thursday you have your 1 day of rest. It's a great day in the neighborhood. It's Jupiter, expansion, growth, love, full of vibrancy, optimism, you know, new beliefs, and adventure is the definition of tomorrow. My favorite day of the week. Thirsty Thursday is what it is. Right? But what comes? They get you at your highest on a Thursday to bring you to your lowest on a Friday and Saturday. It's a spiritual roller coaster, but it's designed that way so you can do what I do, which is ascend every week. Now, you don't get to be like me without doing this shit fucking 4 o'clock in the morning, 5, 6, 7 times a day. Meaning what? I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning with a fucking negative thought or feeling, and I work through it. And as soon as I work through that one, I got another one. A memory or a fucking, you know, I saw something on the internet that triggered me. So I got another one. I'll do that shit. I'll do like 3 of them before you guys ever woke up. And then by the time you wake up, I have like all these stories. Let me tell you all this shit I just transmuted before you woke up. Those will be those morning videos. Got lots of those, right? And that's it. You tell it, you know, you tell your stories. You tell what you're working through. You tell how you work through it. You tell you that it's over, and you just, you know, that's the testimony to God's works. But you got to make it work, and it's a lot of work. So for me, I dedicated my whole, you know what I mean, existence to it, because I could not do anything else. I was very ill. I had a personality disorder that I had to work through. I had multiple consciousnesses that I had to work through, and my feelings were just absolutely out of control. I was extremely angry. But what I discovered, I was not angry at all. I had a lifetime of hurt. But the anger that I felt was what I needed to address right away. What that mean? I had a temper, bro. Very temperate. Like, I'll give you an ugly look, I'll snap. I mean, even today, this bitch was kind of stupid. At the end of our shift, she was kind of stupid, bro. I was like, oh, that's the kind of shit that make me get fired. Dealing with people like that. Oh, this is why I stayed out of the work environment. She's like, yeah. I was like, oh, I did. That was good. I didn't get fired, obviously. I didn't say nothing. Lock the door. It's time to go. Anyways, and that's the growth. Like, ooh, the old me, I'd have lost my job. Meaning what? I just said some smart shit. I'm a smart bitch. I don't bite my tongue, bro. You fucking disgust me. What the fuck did you just say? You say that to people's face? Fuck yeah. I'll back it up too, though. You don't want to swing. Don't fuck with me. My bark is very scary, dude. I don't really, nah. Anyway, so I had a lot to work through. And that's what it is like every time somebody pushes you into an unhappy feeling, you gotta work with that feeling right away and see what the fuck, Why am I acting? Why I'm about to act up? I'm acting foolish. I feel like I didn't 5 minutes ago. And you just every feeling, every thought, and you start to, you eliminate the thoughts, but you know the feelings because they become repetitive.
The lady friend gave me ice cream. The one that asks you for a cigarette sometimes.
Yeah, she's probably gonna ask you for a cigarette. If she offers me sodas and shit, these people are strange as fuck. Well, at least they offer something. Anyway, going back to your brain. Your electrical network is also the most direct interface between your Ka channels, your physical body, and your higher self. Your Ka channels is, in this book, they call it your Ka channels, and any other book, that's your chakras. I had somebody ask me that yesterday. What's your chakras? It's like it's an I showed him my card at work. That's what happened. I was like, it's an invisible energy system that aligns through your spine that transmutes, I don't even want to get into it. Since Ka energy is fundamentally electrical in nature, and that's what I said, it's an energetic, invisible energetic point. In nature, your electrical conducting system must be in good condition in order for your Ka energy to circulate and flow fully and freely. And that's what it is. You have to clean out your chakras all the time. All the time. Which is, it's just, you're going to have to research chakras. We'll teach chakras another day. Not today. Therefore, your nervous system, it's been a long time since I taught you guys the chakra system. I got so much to teach. I can teach you. We'll go through another level of life. We'll go through the Lumerians. Best way to teach you. Therefore, your nervous system, and just like that, we have Saturday's teaching. Therefore, your nervous system and skeletal health are vital to full, unimpeded Ka flow. Think about the ways dolphins move in the water. They have no kinks in their spines or sluggish in their neurological response time. They live in spontaneous harmony with themselves and their surroundings. Their bodies fluidly respond to every need and situation. When they move their fins, the movement flows like gentle waves through their bodies via their nervous system, devoid of kinks or contractions. Yeah, contractions. Sorry, I was beat up. This is what the Pleiadians called the dolphin wave effect. It is only possible because dolphins are uninhibited, whole brain, spiritually evolved beings who are aligned through their bodies and spirits with the earth, the sun, the stars, and the collective conscious that is God, Goddess, and all that is. They are the blueprint for what human race is destined to become. They hold the vibrational patterns and frequencies for human evolution on Earth. Their very presence on Earth is a vital boon to human spiritual development. Now, this is how she got tapped in. She was just studying the brain waves, the brain frequencies, and how a brain works in a dolphin. And then she got into some higher level understandings, and that's where she tapped into the Pleiadians. Who is it? Just a scientist that was studying dolphins, bro. When a dolphin baby is born, it is, I don't want to teach all this. Let me run down here. All right, here's a word I can't say. Moshe Feldrekas has a theory that when a human being is born, the initial touch from another human to each part of the newborn's body anchors a neurological information in this person into the baby's body. In other words, if your sacrum was first touched by your mother, who held contraction in the part of her body out of fear or shame about her sexuality, then the shame-holding pattern was transferred electrically through your mother's touch to your motor cortex of your brain via the nerve endings in your sacrum. From the this is so science. From the motor cortex of your brain, an electrical impulse was sent through your nervous system to your sacral area muscles and bones, telling them to contract and not allowing that part of your body to move freely. Well, that's lovely, as we were talking about my period and my sacral issues and all of that. All right, so your sacral chakra is right there, and that's in your loins. That's your sacred energy, your life-giving energy. So, going back to this is, my cursed womb was cursed by my mother and their mother, and that's why my daughter's wombs and my sisters and all of us are cursed in our family, and we have these unbelievable fucking periods. Speaking of which, I talked to my daughter's doctor. She prescribed her some liquid Advil so she can start drinking it so that she doesn't have to have terrible periods. Because she doesn't take pills. You know, Motrin and stuff. We just don't take, we're not pill people over here. But I mean, I take Advil, ibuprofen, when I get periods or migraines, but she doesn't take pills. So they prescribed her something like that. But I just want to point out that that's exactly the area that we're talking about right now. They're saying it was nothing more than a touch. You know what I mean? Just meaning by, like, you know, and that's why you got to be careful not to let anybody in your energetic field. Sharing your body is ultimately not even a cool thing. But even within your bubble, you don't want to be, you know what I mean? Like, I'm seeing back when I did the binding and banishment over at the studio, Mike reached out to shake my hand. I was like, I would never touch your energy. Meaning I was not going to touch him. I was not going to give him my energy and have an energy exchange with him by touching him. And that's the thing, too, is like, I'm always like that. Don't fucking touch me. And it's really, you know, it's about that. It's like, it's an energy exchange when you guys are doing this. Now, when you're having sex, you're literally, they're putting their soul into your soul. Even though it was just a quick whatever it was, you were left with the residual, with their soul inside of your soul. It's a very crazy concept, considering the last person I had sex with is the only person I've had sex with in forever. And the same person that I keep getting drawn back to with all this bullshit. You know what I mean? It's funny too. It's like, what an asshole. I literally have a message. It's like, it was heavenly. Shut up. I don't even have memories to fucking prove it. But in the essence, it's like, going back to all of this, it all aligns the whole fucking teaching and shit. So it's passed down, right? And all of your, we can just say that, is the sins of your mothers and fathers are passed down in your actual DNA or by their touch and by the words they say. And that's why I said Max Verstappen is nothing more than his, I can't pronounce his name. His dad's name starts with a J. I can see it, but I can't pronounce it. It's his dad and his mom combined. All of their, he's the wicked seed of them, bro. We carry their curses, bro, and their karma. That's why, you know what I mean? It's generational curses of, you know, generations of poverty, generations of fucking racism, generations and generations and generations. Just because I healed myself doesn't mean I healed my current living generational family. They are still under the curse. And that's what I said about my older children. If they don't do this work, because they're old enough now, I can't. Same with this one. She's getting a little too big in her ego and shit. If they don't stay woke, then they're going to have to break the curses on their own. That's just it. And even then, they're already going to have to walk their own karma, and their karma aligned with my karma, which aligned with the actual seed of, you know, this family bloodline. We are born into a bloodline that gives us an opportunity to play out our karma. You think it's theirs, but it's really all of ours. We all have this coming. They paired us all together because we all did this in another life. So we're all got to learn this lesson in this life. Or maybe one of us out of all of us will learn in this life and teach the others, and they'll learn in another life. It's kind of how that looks. So going back to this, it's all passed down from your parents. You are your parents and their parents and everything, and you can see it in your, you know, when you have kids, they look like their grandparents, and it's all creepy, and they look like your uncles and aunts and everything. It's not just physical. It's emotional and spiritual. And it's a debt, really. You know what I mean? As much as I had to overcome alcohol and drugs, you know what I mean? My son did. My daughter, I don't know what her deal is. I think she smokes pot. I don't know if she drinks anything, but she'll have to overcome it. It's in my genes and her father's. And that's both of these kids, too. They have all of their own problems they're going to have to overcome that were given to them by me and their father. Passed down from, you know what I mean, that we didn't overcome. I wasn't awoken when my kids woke up, or when I had my kids. I was better. I was a better version, but I wasn't awoken. So that means that I just had all of those sins passed to them. No matter how you look at it, like going back to Kanye's kids, they're going to have to wear the sins of their parents, bro. And if they don't change their ways, they'll end up just as cursed as, you know what I mean, going back to their parents and their parents and their parents. They'll repeat the pattern. They'll go back to poverty. They'll go back. They'll start all over. That timeline will start all over, dude. All the work the ancestors did to get them to the top, they'll have to go back to the bottom again in the next seed. Really? Yeah, bro, it's some shit. Their whole line is dependent on us. Not to become rich and famous, but to break the curses. What keeps our family down. And keep us from our family, because our family keeps us down. The problem with families, karmic families, is they're all karmic to begin with. They're a group for you to learn from, right? You're all there to learn from each other. If you don't learn from their mistakes, you'll repeat their mistakes, because the family sweeps it under the rug. Family is the most accepting to your sins. They'll hide you in your sins, you know what I mean, from God himself. They'll hide you from the police. They'll hide you. You know, it's all loyalty when it's all about the blood. They'll hide you in the dirty blood. And that's where it's really difficult, where you have to get out of your family, knowing where most of your negative traits, forgive me, you were taught. They were passed down. You weren't, you know, going back to Max Verstappen, it was nature and nurture that made him narrow-minded. The people of the South, when they leave the South and they come to the North and they meet people of the North, they become different. Now, for me, same thing. When we go down and we go down there and we meet them and we learn the culture and stuff, we become, you know what I mean? And that's it. You have compassion. You can't have compassion for something you don't understand. And all his life, Max has been a fucking F1 driver. Has he ever seen what a pride festival really is about? And I only experienced that 2 years ago, woke. I thought it was just a bunch of gay shit, but I started to watch them as they're all naked and all different sizes and colors and all full of smiles, and what this is really about right here. It's about being proud to be alive and accepted in your skin when nobody else does. Finding a place where you can feel accepted no matter how much of yourself you show and what you're showing. And that's what's scary. It's not Miami Beach, bro. It's not Miami Beach. They will rip their clothes off and say, I'm proud to be me. And it's not necessarily about their sexuality, but you deem them dirty for what they do with their bodies and how their bodies look, and if their body doesn't look appropriate for a man or for a woman. So they all get together with this. And I tell you, because I was a very straight woman just supporting my daughter's excitement for this, and I realized I was filled with so much compassion, understanding, and forgiveness for a culture I did not know. But I had to be thrown into it and very uncomfortable with butt cheeks and titties hanging out everywhere for me to fully understand what this culture was about. It's not celebrating your sexual acts. Pride Month means being proud, you know, having pride in what you are. Not what they want you to be, but being proud of what you are. He doesn't know that. Most people around the world have no idea, and then you leave their religious books to these false teachings of, you know, homosexuality is a condemnation against God, and you will never enter his gates. Okay. As the goddess of hell, I can't wait to see you with that thought process. I can't wait to see where you go with that thought process. Send them to me, God. I know just what to do with assholes like that. In the essence of going back to it. I felt my gods of hell really rowl in that. Like, yeah, I get it. Yeah, I want to make them pay for that too. Yeah, you remember hell. You remember? Oh, yeah, they deserved it, didn't they? They really deserved to be down there, didn't they? For the things they did in this world to other people. Oh, yeah, you did what? You did what? Come here. I got a special place for you. Sorry. Fun times. All right, let's go back to your body and shit. Your sexuality and all that. All this shit is passed down. So you have to work through your thoughts. You have to eliminate who you are and who your parents told you are, and probably your name too. They gave you some name. They named you after a person that made an impression on them in their life. They didn't make up your name, Shaquanda. Kiki, do you love me? No, your name is not authentic. Ask your parents why they named you who they named you. Bruce. Marshall Bruce Mathers III. She couldn't even come up with another name. Okay, I'm not gonna say that because I have a junior in my room right there. I was pressured into this twice, but in the essence, Your name came from, somebody that your parents were impressed by, and they wanted you to live up to this impression. You're not, you're not your name. They told you what kind of person you are. You're such a bad boy. You're such a great boy. You're so smart. You're this and that. They told you what you are and what you aren't. They told you what you could be and what you couldn't. They told you what you could eat and what you couldn't. They told you how you could talk and how you shouldn't. And if they didn't, the rest of the world has told you all that too. You are a construct of a matrix mind that everyone has. It's called a collective consciousness. You all think the same, and those thought patterns are put on you from the biggest giant brain, Pinky in the brain. Not that of God, but that of man. In essence, you can see the thought patterns are identical to each other based on culture. I can put you guys, box you all together, and you all think the same. The point is to unbox you. And that's what I shared about transcendental beings. We do not think like you think. That's the whole point of what a transcendental being is. It's beyond the conscious restraints of your mind. And that's what I shared in my community page. And I for those of you that refuse to accept spirituality, I implore you to go look over there and dig in as deep as you can into the understandings. And then come back to me and we start working on your stupid thoughts. Because no matter what you do and what you read, it all comes back to your thoughts. We have to work through them. And the feelings that are built up around them. This is some dirty ass work and I try to do it with you. Are you ready to get serious? Let's get down. Not today. Let's keep going on. Alright, the initiation of propensity for fear or shame to be held emotionally in the area of your body, corresponding with the physical contraction. The results were the prevention of feeling, the suspension of sexual energy, and the beginning of fusion of your sacral bones, including your lower spine and hips. Eventually, you would develop lower back injuries, stiffness, aches, and pains in your sacrum or hip areas. Yeah, that would be me. And you go back to my mom's sexuality, of course she passed on all of that shame. Fucking bitch. What did I do? Pass down all my shame. Now my daughter is gay and my son might be too. I don't know. He's not chasing girls. I'd love to know what they're up to. They'll get through it. For many, and that's where, they're not going to be old turmoil. It was kind of great. Was it yesterday? She's not even in the, she's wearing a fucking mini skirt right now. I just want to point it out. We went down, I don't know, we went somewhere. Me and my daughter went somewhere the other day. And we were going down the elevator. And the lady's like, something. And I was like, yeah, my daughter. And her little girl, she's little. She doesn't know. She's like, that's a girl? I said, well, sometimes. She likes to be both. That's a them. She's a them. I said, sometimes she likes to be a boy. Sometimes she likes to be a girl. Today she looks like a boy. I didn't ask her what she is. But she was a girl. She just gets to be whatever she wants. And her mom looks at me and I look at the girl and it's like, she could have stopped me, but this is her little 4-year-old's first explanation of, it's a them. And I explained it perfect. I was like, some days she's a beautiful boy and some days she's a beautiful girl. And the little girl says, I don't want to be a beautiful boy. I said, you don't have to be. She just doesn't know what she wants to be, so she can be whatever she wants. I said, okay. And that's it. Right then, I put that seed in that head, and the mom didn't stop me. Meaning, it's okay to be either. Now, she could have walked her and say, that's not okay. She could have changed it, or she can let that seed of acceptance be in that kid's head. A different mom, with her kids, wouldn't have liked that at all. She would have been giving my little boy an ugly look. I mean, and that's where it is we give them the freedom to express themselves, whatever you want. And that goes back to, Prince. Did you want him to be a boy? Would he have looked better without makeup? Did you want him to be a girl? Did you want him to have sex with men? Could he not just be a beautiful man? And that was, going back to, what's his fucking name on the basketball court? I can't think of his name. Rodman. That's the Holy Spirit, right? I don't have any memories and shit. They be helping me all the time. He was just expressing himself. And then that's part of the LGBTQ community is, the queens. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. My daughter, I don't know. I don't know. Nobody's touching her, so I don't know who she likes. And she won't know. I guarantee you she's going to figure out, she's going to touch both sexes before she decides what she likes. Is that an abomination against me or God or any of these religions? I mean, according to the teachers of them, but not my God. Not in any of these books can I say that she's not allowed to do this. This is a sin against God. I can't find it in any of my books. I'm sure there's probably a religious book that says it, but I don't own that book. We'll find a way to get you into. In the essence, let's move on. For many years, the exterior problems remained unnoticed. Later in life, perhaps as early as puberty or as late as middle age, symptoms appeared. Perhaps you experienced extreme cramping and pains before or during your menstrual periods. Melia, listen to this shit.
What?
Listen to this. Perhaps as early as puberty. Remember that button? So ever since you touched that button. Then after a while, lower back pains and headaches accompanied these painful periods. Later still, perhaps you... Dude, this is fully going to explain what's wrong with me, isn't it? Perhaps you slipped and fell down going down the steps in your home and hurt your back. X-rays showed that you had tilted pelvis and that it had been tilted for a long time. As indicated by calcium deposits, fusion, and deterioration of your lower vertebrae. Do I need a hip replacement? My hips don't lie. They're being funny. It's not funny. They're being serious. This is tragic. Depending on the lower awareness of your doctor or chiropractor at the time of the accident, the relationship of your menstrual cycle problems, earlier lower back pains, and headaches may not have been connected to the tilted pelvis problem. Perhaps you found a doctor who wanted to operate in order to cure you, or you became dependent on ongoing costly adjustments at a chiropractor's office, or I went to gynecologists all the time. Never really, and I stayed on fucking birth control to stop my periods. Never really solved the problem as one, that's how I did this. How did you stop them? I stayed on birth control, bro. So I didn't have periods. I had that thing in my arm, the Nexplanon. It would last for 3 to 5 years. And when it would get old, I'd take it out. I wasn't having sex. It was just to stop the periods. And that's how I was able to have a normal life. But God told me to pull that fucker out, and we went to town. I don't remember him ever being this horrible. And then I watched my daughter, and I'm like, how is she suffering like this? Nobody's ever touched her like me. And I'm like, what? Oh, there's a scary thought. As only the symptoms was treated, what was really needed was a way to reteach your body how to let go of contractions, fear, and shame and heal itself. Wow. And there's a book that they told me to read in the beginning of this, and that's why I do body mapping. It's called The Body Keeps the Count, meaning your trauma is hidden in your body. And that's what I teach you, is that we got to do a chakra cleaning and teaching, is that your traumas hide in your chakras, which is in your spine, meaning you could tell me on your body what kind of body illnesses you have, and I can map that back to a trauma that you have hidden in your body. And as we work through them, that's how, you decrease it. So my periods have become less painful as I work through all of my sexual traumas and shames and fears. But that's why they're so intense, too. It wasn't just fucking rape and fucking abuse. Alright, let's move on. You're like, damn, bitch. Yeah, it's all in my videos, dude. Why do you think I gotta work through that? That's karma like a motherfucker, right? Karma, bro. I told you. In the beginning, I was like, the very thought of a penis made me cry, bro. For all reasons, bro. I'm working through it. I went to a sex store and saw all different sizes and shapes and colors. I saw a real one. Oh, God. Keep going. It's not a fucking Lilith video unless we start talking about dick. Alright, this is the... Why? Because I'm the goddess of sexual prowess. But ultimately, I have to heal mine, and in doing so, heal yours. Heal, boy. Heal. And where does this come from? Ultimately, I'm going to have to be on top. As it always was stated since the beginning of time. If you do not submit to that, then we're not going to do anything. Nope. You take your panties off and lay down. You're like, what? Yeah, it's a long-standing joke. It's really funny. But, I mean, it's kind of true. Give me a minute. That was a good moment. Okay, move forward. Something about your pelvis. It's all in the hips. Alright? Alright, Happy Gilmore. Alright, let's see. Depending, blah, blah, blah. Perhaps you found a doctor, blah, blah, blah. What was really needed. Yeah. This is the intention behind Feldricken case work. I don't know what this person's name is. Feldrick's work. And it has been expanded in the dolphin brain repatterning aspect of the Pleiadian light work. When I took a month-long intensive training with the whatever practitioner in South California, yeah, California knows how to part. What part of Dago were you in? The Pleiadians worked with me, fucking La Jolla. I bet she was, you stupid cunt. I bet you were, you bossy bougie bitch, and your lemon Lulus, you bitch. Fucking La Jolla, right up there with Pomona. Escondido. Get out of my face. It's not San Diego. Alright, anyways. It's just not the streets, anyways. I'm just ghetto-fied. Anyways, you gotta come closer to the border. And then cross it. Into Baja California. Okay? Okay. Haha. Alright, anyways. It's not a joke. It's for real. They told me that this work would be vital in healing the nervous system and skeletal systems of those who intended to survive the upcoming Earth changes and increased frequencies on our planet. And that's what I mean, bro. They filled you with all this light, and then all this shitty-ass darkness comes to the surface, and you blurt out all these pains and sufferings, look like Kanye West and shit, and your body's aching and shit. The Pleiadians studied the work through my body and the bodies of others in training who were willing, and they made improvements on what was being taught. The Pleiadians said that at the time they would be working with thousands of people on Earth over the next few years to help free them of holding patterns and their nervous systems. Where are these people, fuckheads? Where are my people? They're not my people, but, you know, do you call them on your dolphin phone? I used to call you on my dolphin. Just kidding. What's up, Drake? Drake's in the energy. That's funny. Alright, are you a dolphin guy? Does this mean something you have to do with the Miami Dolphins? Such a joke, aren't you? Yeah, I very much am. Want to hear something funny? Last time we went to Florida, my daughter's out swimming in the fucking water, and I swear, dude, I start panicking. I think they're sharks, but they're just dolphins. I was like, oh my god. They're just dolphins. Same thing happened in San Diego. Well, no, I haven't seen them in San Diego. But if you cross the border, it's the same fucking beach, just on the other side. The fucking dolphins swim all up and down the Tijuas fucking playas. Playas de Tijuana. Alright, let's go. You're like, you know Spanish? Yeah, dude. And I know how to make the best tacos. I learned that shit in Mexico. Alright, ask my exes and their family, dude. They're like, dude, that bitch knows how to make tacos. I do. Alright, going back to your programmed brain. What are we saying? Your own experience. What, something. They said there was thousands of you bastards over the years. Help them free. Yeah, okay. From my own experience as the guinea pig and trainee, I know that this work can be very effective when received directly from the Pleiadians or through a Pleiadian lightwork practitioner. The effectiveness of the dolphin brain repatterning work by the Pleiadians varies from about 65 to 85%, higher than the call work effectiveness rate. This is because the Pleiadians were able to work with subtle electrical impulses and direct them into the body in the same movement patterns as would be done by hands-on practitioners. What does that mean? Come here and let me touch you and you'll feel the electricity. For real? Yeah, I told you this a billion times. You know, whatever. I give off electricity, bro. That's what it means about your light. And you're a light worker and they see your light and blah, 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 blah. Come here. That's what I mean. It's like I'm not dark enough for them. Like the light just, like all the dark comes to my light. Why does all the dark? Because I attract dark. Just because I'm holding the light doesn't mean I'm not dark. There's just a big fat light inside of me. I'm just a dark being attacking dark shit. Why? So I can spread some light on it. Stupid, right? Why did God make me like this? They've been asking that since the moment he made me. Why did you make Lilith like this? I'm one of his favorite creations, bro. And he keeps trying to recreate me in all humanity because there's nothing like me. He never expected the burst of energy that I was. Because I didn't stay in the form that he put me. I never do. So deadly. That's why Lilith is like, oh man, without limits. Limitless, bro. I was supposed to be put in a body and in a capsule. And I still can't understand why I left and he couldn't. He just sat there on the ground like, she has fled. I mean, I know I had my inner knowing that I didn't have to sit there. I just bursted out of the fucking garden and straight into the abyss. He wasn't going to destroy me, but I just I don't think he fully understood that I was going to explode into the sky like a fucking rocket. And he couldn't get me back on the earth after he did it. Really? Yeah, bro. Really? Then he tried to cast me into the sea, and there we are with all the sea monsters. And it's all the fire. It's like, dude, I am the elements. I am all the elements. But I was without limits. And that's where I have to limit myself, according to Christ and stuff. Like, they have to hold me down, because I don't believe in this. This isn't real. It never was since the day I was created. And that's what I was like, here, you need to know this. Like, that's where the whole apple came from. Don't give them that power. And that's what it is. You weren't supposed to know this. I wasn't supposed to be like, I mean, I guess I was. I go back to it saying that he don't make no mistakes. I think you done fucked up now. Lilith and Adam were not created equal in the sense of power. He had none. And the capsule, in the sense of, that's what it is full rebellion. I wasn't created under the belief system of nothing. I was free to think. I did not, you know what I mean? He sat there for a day telling me what everything was, until he tried to tell me what to do. And that's where it happened in one day. I'm not doing what you say. You do what I say. That was God versus goddess. Right there. Who won? Goddess. I didn't submit and I took off. There was nothing. It was over. Game over. That was it. It was so easy. So game over. But in the essence of, Adam and Eve lived by God's rule. And the rule was, don't eat that apple. That wasn't it happened immediately. All right, you guys can't have the knowledge and wisdom, because then nobody's going to sit on this stupid planet I made for them. So then what did I do? Hey, you should eat that. He didn't tell me no. He was not, you know what I mean?
Wasn't it?
I am limitless with God. Don't get me wrong. I mean, he'll spank me and shit, like, not physically, but I have to pay for my, my transgressions, which obviously this is what I'm doing here. But in the sense of, no, never. And that goes back to Kali. He kept making me limitless. Well, in a form or two. But that's the triple goddess, because I never stayed in that form. I always evolved into multiple forms. And that's the fucking phoenix. I'm done with this. I will burn my own bridge down. I will set my own fucking life on fire. I am done with this life. I'm not waiting for God to take my life. I'll take my own life. I know how this works. And that's what I teach you. Not suicide, no, because you're coming right back and it's going to be worse than before. No, I teach you the acceptance of death, transformation, and rebirth. That when you die, you're going to be transformed and fucking reborn if you don't get this right. That's what you don't want to do. Do you guys want to come back? President Trump will still be President Trump when you come back, bro. You're just going to be a young kid that has no understanding as to why this guy is the president and why your parents are scared of this guy and everything. You're going to be helpless to the understanding. You'll have to figure it all out again. You'll have to have all these life experiences again and learn all the lessons you didn't learn all over again, even the ones you did learn. Why? Because you have to reawaken. You have to put your knowing back in there. Oh, this isn't stuff I knew. I mean, I need to know. Stuff I already knew. Stuff you already probably know, but it's not awoken in you. You have the inner knowing. Duh. But you don't, because you think you're a know-it-all. That's funny. God's messing with us. Parables and shit. Anyways, her trip to California and all of this, and let's get down here. I have personally experienced incredible results with clearing skeletal problems, blah, blah, blah. I had a natural and deep understanding of dolphin brain repatterning work. Practically from the beginning, I knew inherently how to make it beyond what was being taught and to personalize it to myself and for my client. This gift has freed me from the need for chiropractic help, which has been a reoccurring necessity in my life prior to that time. Well, she didn't say she had fucked up periods or that her parents passed on sexual trauma, but she said she had to go to a chiropractor. Do you go to a chiropractor? What's wrong with your spine? All right, next thing it says dolphin moves. I'm not going to tell you how the dolphin moves. I'm moving on from the dolphins. Dude, we spent an hour talking about this bullshit. We spent an hour talking about some bullshit. Well, at least it was good bullshit, and there was one bullshit. I really just wanted some spiritual shit. In the sense of that's, science and shit. It's all spiritual. And it made a huge mess. Damn it. I just lifted my skirt and it's a huge mess down. Talking about periods. What did I mean? No, my fucking tablecloth, and I've got all my books and fucking cards all over the place, and it's a mess. Fuck. What? I have OCD. I don't like messes. Alright, come here. Somebody pick a card, because I'm fucking irritated. Where are my cards? I don't know where the quantums... I'm not digging for the quantums. We're going to get 3 cards and move on. Why? Because I wanted to. This is all I wanted to do. And then they're talking about fucking your brain. This is your brain. Well, that's what I teach you all the time. I've been teaching you forever. We're trying to work on your thoughts. So now you have, a scientific point of view of it that I'm going to make you spiritual. Even the science guys are going to be spiritually awoken. And not gay. That's not what that means. You might question your sexuality. I don't know why God put your G-spot in your butthole. It's not in mine. I don't know where mine is. That's funny. You don't know where you're... I'm a child. What do you got, God? Oh, shit. It's the Knight of Swords. What does that mean? Your thoughts? Let's get into the book. I could tell you, but I'd rather just read it to you because then you can't question it. Or you could. Like, that's not what that means. That's what my book says. Such a bitch. Oh, this was fun. What time is it? Is it time to go to bed yet? Alright, what are we looking for? Swords. Start in the beginning with your swords. Get out of my face, Loki. Princess? Nope. Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords combines thought and action. We're talking about your brains and the way it works. Come on, God. Just get to the point. Represents a burst of energy leading to a lot of activity, travel, and getting things done. You find yourself thinking quickly and clearly, discovering unexpected solutions to problems, formulating new plans. Yeah, I have these unbelievable moments where I'm like so smart. I've been noticing them all day. I'm like, how did you remember all this shit? They just keep telling you. She's looking at me like, how did you know? I don't know. It's going in there. I just didn't know it was in there either. It's as long as it's retainable and we can access it, that's great shit. Seriously, bro. I'm sitting here looking at it. She's like, well, you got to do these modules, confirmation. She's like, just open it and see what it is. I was like, I'm scrolling through it, and I was like, it looks like it's a workbook of 110 pages. She said, what? I was like, yeah, it has 110 pages, but it has some exercises in it. She's like, just scroll through it. So I scroll through it for, 15 minutes or so. I'm like looking at, I'm like scrolling down the pages. And then the next one is 75 pages of these exercises. She's like, what is this? I was like, it's preparing me for something, right? And then the next thing is a test. And I was like, there's a test. She's like, well, let's see. So I take the test and I fucking aced it. I was like, how did I know all that? I just looked at it, bro. I knew all the answers to that test. Really? Yeah, I watched it happen myself. Then all these fucking terminologies, passcodes, and fucking phone numbers. I know all these extensions. How do you memorize all that? I don't know. There's plenty of room in there to put information. At least it's pulling it out. It looks like it's going in one ear and out the other, but it's in there. I've seen it. It's really coming back up real good. Let's hope we can hold all that shit in there. And that goes back to people saying that you can't, that smoking weed fucks with your memory. As a girl that lost her memory, I don't know exactly how much truth there is behind that. The memories were just thoughts. We just worked through them. They go away too. You're going to clear your conscious. What the fuck do you need memories for? That's called nostalgia and living in the past. You're trying to go forward. You can't go forward living in the past. Your attachments to stupid outcomes of shit that's already done that you haven't laid to rest. Really? Yeah, I'm not being insensitive. I'm being serious. That's the type of shit I gotta sit around with you working on, all your goofy memories. Alright. Use the energy of the Knight of Swords shrewdly and understand that this is a time to act without delay. If you have something that you've always wanted to do, whether it is a special trip, a career change, or a creative project, do it now. Why now? Because it's a full moon in Sagittarius. It's building up for adventure, optimism, all of that. And then tomorrow's Thursday too. Do it. What do you mean? I don't know. Pack your bag and do something spontaneous tomorrow that you've always wanted to do, and stop being a pussy about doing what you loved, what you've always wanted to do with your life. Yeah, they're not going to like that you left them and you went to go take care of yourself and have a good time for yourself. But it's not about them. You need some self-healing and to be a little bit selfish. It may be the very thing that you have come to this life to accomplish. So take the first steps today. Today's the day. However, air is a changeable element and you must be prepared for sudden alterations that temporarily throw your life into chaos. That will be Friday. Perhaps because your new idea or vision revises your planned course, revises your planned course, or depending on the surrounding cards, as a result of sudden illness, accident, or surgical operation. That sounds like some bullshit. Swords can indicate the influence of a person who will initiate change in your life. That's me. It could be a dude, but it says he is a mercurial. It is Mercury day, so I'm in that Mercury energy. I'm in my masculine energy because I'm taking actions. You know, when I'm sitting around just receiving information, I'm in my feminine. When I'm out doing shit, I'm in my masculine. You gotta be in your, you gotta put your fucking manhood on to go out and be a man. So I'm gonna say this. Could be some dude, but I don't know that dude, so that's me. As a mercurial woman, but with extremes but changeable opinions. What I fiercely believe one day may be radically altered the next. I am quick, mentally and physically, articulate, persuasive, and always in a whirl of activity. I am impatient, I'm impatient and need constant stimulation, sometimes, and can't stand indecisiveness in others. That's totally me. I often rush into things, no, this is the opposite, sometimes. I often rush into things without considering the consequences of other people's feelings. Yeah, I don't take your feelings into too much consideration. But once I become aware of them, then I do. But usually no. Like, unless I consider what I'm saying to be hurtful, I don't care that it is. Not until I've made aware, and that's just human beings. Forgive them before they know. Did you know what you just said? And how they could have accepted that? Something as simple as my daughter was like, hey, those babies got big diapers. Do you know what that means? Don't say that out loud. You're judging their mother. Really? That's not what I meant. No, but that's how it's taken. You gotta be careful what you say or how you say it. Me, I will say it again. Say it again! I will. However, I am charming and very good with my words, so I can probably talk you into doing anything. Yeah, I'll tell you to eat some gross shit because it's funny. You gotta try this. It's disgusting. And I'll say it laughing with a smile, and you will totally try it. Why? Because it's the way I said deliver it. Open your mouth. You're gonna love this. Really? Kinda. As a lover, I'm likely to be temporary and one who won't make romantic gestures or even contact you after I decide it's over. Yeah, I tend to, walk away. I like to get my own way, and I can be convinced, and can be so convinced of my own superiority that I see it's my duty to educate everyone around me. Of course, I might be describing you too. I accept this. I accept this role in my life. I'll be doing this shit. Alright, the reverse is probably you. Take care that you're not rushing into something without thinking it through properly and endangering others with your carelessness. Alternatively, the card can suggest you're exhausted and need to slow down, as you are spreading yourself far too thin. Focus on what is most important. The reverse Knight of Swords may be a person in your life that causes chaos wherever they go. They're overbearing, thoughtless, freckless, and don't rely on them on their promises. They like to provoke squirrels, and beware, they make a bad enemy. Douchebag. Alright, spiritual work at hand. Douchebag. Oh, man. That's awesome. What is that? The King of Pentacles. Practicality. You're like, it's a queen. Nope, it's me. We do everybody's job. There we go. Queen? Nope, king. Why? Because it's mastery. Nurturer would be the queen. Mastery means the, you know what I mean? The man. The King of Pentacles is the Lord of the Earth who represents plenty, security, power, and stability. He advises you that you can now achieve pleasure and spiritual growth through appreciating the beauty of life and the world around you. And these are true riches. You're in a position to help others, so give generously of your time and resources to create abundance in your life and the lives around you. On a practical level, he signifies the ultimate achievement of a creative project, business adventure, or investment accomplished through methodical work and attention to detail. Well, that's my work in general, but I'm looking at it like God. This job, bro. I had another great day at work. The day went by quite quickly because there's so much to do, and that's me as the Knight of, you know what I mean, the Knight of Swords. Is like, I like a lot of adventure. I like a lot of adversity. I like a lot of things going on. Even if there wasn't all that going on, there's still a lot that can go on. Like, there's always stuff to keep going to make this day go by, right? And by doing all this stuff, I just shine by doing this stuff that I would enjoy to do. And it's not dealing with people, you know what I mean? So that's cool ass shit to me. And the opportunities, bro. We were like, today she was talking to me about it, like all of the different housing opportunities and how that works. Like, for example, she's like, check out this one in Colorado Springs. It's like, it looks pretty nice. It's like, it's only a 2-bedroom though. I was like, yeah, that was kind of cool. And, you know, just spreading, you know what I mean? Just spreading the possibilities and stuff. It was pretty cool. So, you know, it's just that. It's like, God just put together the pieces so perfectly. You know what I mean? He gave me a job that came with, you know, and that's what I said. I was like, so, because she's got her husband, and he works graveyards, and again, she doesn't have to pay bills. So I was like, so you guys just stack? She's like, ask me how much money is in my bank account right now. I was like, I'm not gonna ask you that. She's like, I got like $30. She's like, you know what happens when you don't, you know what happens? I was like, what, you blow it all the time? She's like, all the time. She's like, but that's what got us here, is we were just stacking money, but we had to spend all that money because she moved here from California. The position was available. There was a lot of growth in our district and shit, so they moved in to our district. She moved from California, and she brought her husband. I was like, damn, that must have been super culture shock to be in Whiteville like this. She's like, yeah, it was hard for him. I was like, but at least you came later, because when I was a teenager, dude, as a native, there was none, bro. There was no culture out here at all, bro. At least there's some culture. And anyways, we were talking about that. I was like, so, but ultimately I was like, dude, you probably just stack hella money, right? She's like, you can, but they just kind of blow theirs, which is okay. I mean, if you have 2 incomes, it's, why would, you know, if you're safe, then you're safe, and you don't have to keep building that safety net, and you can actually enjoy you can enjoy your bread and butter. So I agreed with that too. But that's what I was saying. It's like, you know, and that's what I asked. It's like, she's been with the business for 10 years. And I was like, the most important questions is, what makes you want to quit? Has there been a time where you wanted to walk away from this? What are the weaknesses that make you want to walk away, that make you want to give this up? You know what I mean? You don't hold on to it for desperation. What do you know, and that's just it. So, I don't know. It's still very early in the game, but looking at it, it's like, dude, God put together one hell of a plan, bro. If this was God's ultimate plan, bro, that's one hell of a plan. Meaning, like, I get the job done and I get into an apartment. What's the problem? If I know the job and I can do the job, then I'm set, bro. Like, that's super set. That's super set. And all I do is stack, you know what I mean? Or spend, whatever the case may be. That's set, dude. That's super set. In the essence, I had to find a way to survive in this world and provide myself with, you know, because there's no man to do it for me. I had to find a way to figure this out, to be, you know what I mean, to keep my career and still somehow hold a job to build a foundation. And God did all that, bro. Obviously, look, on day 2, I'm still doing both. I did a full day's work. I mean, seriously, dude, we were even after, like, I had to stay longer because this lady was stupid. She was a stupid bitch. Anyways, what was she doing? She's just stupid. Like, we didn't see her name in the computer. like there's no notes in the computer. Like, she tried to run a fast one, and it's all in the computer. I'm like, did you really try to play that stupid shit? She was stupid. Anyways, the King of Pentacles may be you or a person in your life. I am a natural manager and like to be very successful in my career. And that's what she said too. I was like, she heard me say something. I needed a client's email address. So I asked him, I said, well, let me go ahead and have you write down your email address here so we can protect your privacy. And she looked over, she said, I like that. That was good. I was like, to be honest, it was just to make sure I didn't make any errors in her email address. But this way, and I'll get rid of this right away as I looked at it. But that's, that's previous training of other, locations. She had never heard something like that. And it's really that. I don't want you to tell me freaking letter by letter. Like me, I have this long-ass 13-letter fucking email, my personal email. And it's annoying. It's like, let me just type it for you. It's so annoying to go through each letter and each number and all of these things. So for them, it's just write it down, please. Thank you. She liked that. Anyways, and that's it. I'm a natural manager. And that's what she said too. There's a bunch of training positions in different districts. I don't want to be a trainer. He said the same damn thing. I want to teach you. I think you're doing great. Keep training me. I don't want your job. But there's a pay increase. Yeah, because you got to be responsible for other people and their fucking production. No, leave me alone. I'm cool with, what I do. I could be great at what I do. I don't have to be responsible for other people. All right, going back to it. That's just how I feel about it. I have all the managerial skills, but I don't want to use those. They were great when I needed them, but I just don't feel, they come up when I need them, but it's just not serious. Well, obviously I'm a property manager, and that's what got me here. Wherever you encounter me, I will be wise, fathering figure who will offer you guidance and wisdom, generous with my time and energy, conscientious mentor who will help nurture new talent. I am totally grounded, practical, hardworking, and reliable. Every move I make is carefully planned using tried and tested methods, gained through long experience. Unless I don't know, and then we're going to fuck around and find out. I like to get my own way, but I do it in a manner that other people are glad to oblige. I am slow to anger, but my temper can be explosive when roused. I enjoy the finer things in life and will have a tasteful home where I love to entertain family and friends. As a life partner, I might not be big on romantic gestures, but I will be loyal and loving, even sensual and passionate, offering a life of financial security and protection. I know, I look like a total sugar mama in this situation. This is a total sugar mama situation. Ex-baby daddy, this would be perfect for him. I ain't got to work and she pays all the bills. Yeah, this is how I fuck around and get into terrible situations. But in essence, if you thought about it, this would, like the perfect guy, this is the perfect situation. We'd both be able to breathe. Meaning we can just live. You don't have to provide for me. And you don't have to provide. I'm providing all of this, just, God's providing all of this. It's not about power. It's about peace. I know it's a super role reversal, but if you stood back and not with the intentions of, being a fuckboy and, a couch crasher that wants to get over on a person, that's a beautiful opportunity that most women walk into. It's like, you could just move in with me and you don't have to worry about paying any bills or anything. Anything you bring to the table can help, but it's not necessary. In the essence, I'm making enough money to take care of me and my family. Why do I need yours? And the house is taken care of by the work I do. So why do, you're just adding. But are you adding or are you taking? Do you see how that's a beautiful, and that's what this is the balance. Will I have a divine feminine masculine to walk into that role? Or that will be too diminishing to his pride. He has to be the breadwinner. He has to be the provider. He has to be that. Haven't I been the divine masculine through the beginning? Perhaps if you stepped in as the divine feminine masculine, then I could step out of my divine masculine and be a divine feminine. You see how that works? Pretty cool, huh? As a life partner, I might not make big romantic, I don't know. Anyways, I can be possessive, probably. If you're mine, they're mine, right? No, that's not true. This guy said something weird today. What did he say? Possession. When you marry a person, that's what he said. And I said, I'm a Lilith, not an Eve. Nobody possessed me. What did he say? Something about marriage. When they possess your last, or that, something, he said something about it. He's like, did you take his last name? I said, no. He didn't have possession over me. He said it was all about the taking of the last name. I never changed my last name. So he didn't have possession. When you take his last name, now he owns you, is what this man was talking about earlier today. Interesting, isn't it? I never looked at it that way, but it's true. And that's what it is too, is when you put the father's last name on the birth certificate, it's having him accountable for those children. He has possession, he has rights to those children. They're his possession. He has so much rights. And as I went to court and my husband lost all of his physical, and I forgot what the other word is, he lost all rights, bro. He has 8% rights to them. It's a percentage. And that only has to do with legal documentation. Physical rights? Nah, very little. He lost, it's in a percentage. Really? Uh-huh. Yep, he has 8% rights to them. And it's an ownership. That's funny too, because, you know, in about 3 years he won't really, but she's already right behind him. She's trying to get a job in next year. I was telling her all kinds of great stuff. I was like, you know what? You'd be great at Waterworld or like at freaking Six Flags. Just push the button and watch the kids go crazy. It's a great paycheck.
Learn CPR.
Yeah, learn CPR and stuff. Or she could be a lifeguard at one of the, I told her that would be an easy job, be a lifeguard at one of the pools. That'd be easy. You just sit there hoping that somebody, I don't know, I don't think you hope for it. They just sit there. The lifeguard, that's a shit-ass job. You'd have to be daydreaming all day or really paying attention all day. To what? Staring at people in their bathing suits. That's weird. Looking down on people. And what if you don't feel like, what if you're like me and you get up that high to the high dive and you feel scared? Your job is to jump from that chair and go save someone. Maybe that's not the right job for me. Could be for you. I have lots of fun with my kids, thinking about futures and possibilities. It's fun, right? No limitations. Anyways, the reverse king indicates that you failed to achieve success you desire and may be in serious financial difficulties. Is that you, Russ? It's keeping you up all night and you're waking up early. Why are you waking up early? Did you set your alarm? What are you doing? Leave me alone. There could be any number of reasons for this. Maybe you didn't work hard enough. I don't think so. You made some poor decisions, got suckered. That's where it is. You work with a bunch of suckers that think you're going to get rich quick schemes. You gamble your money away. I mean, I hope you don't have a gambling problem. It seems like you just have a spending problem. I don't see you spending shit on yourself, bitch. Russell. God, this irritates me. He's not even materialistic. That's what's annoying. Like, he has to wear the chain. He has to wear the chain because he's not a rapper without a chain. He has to, right? So in the essence, but it's like, it's just annoying. He doesn't really. If I took Russ to the store and I bought a generic version, he wouldn't care. He wouldn't be like, no, get the other kind. Unless it tastes better, it wouldn't make a huge difference to him. He's not really going to sit there and judge my clothes and the labels on my clothes. His friends and his family will. He'll notice if I have nice things, and he'll point out nice things, but he won't point out that I don't have nice things. He's not really materialistic. He's just around materialistic people. And so they've made him, you know, their material provider. He buys nice things just to show off. He's not, it's about show off. It's not really about, you know, that. Acceptance. No, excuse me, not showing off, but acceptance. It is. I'm just trying to, it's the negative word for this is showing off. The positive is looking for acceptance. It's still kind of ewy. You're spending money like you didn't actually have it. I mean, you have it, you just don't realize how much you're spending all the time. Or perhaps your dreams were just unrealistic. Forget about the image of being rich and successful you try to project. It's probably time to get an ordinary job and get yourself back into a stable situation. Hey, are you looking for a job? I won't give it to the right person, but there is a $300 sign-on bonus for anyone I want to refer to this particular job.
You should recruit me.
I know, right? Seriously? Yeah, but it's not an easy job. And I'm not putting my name on the line for somebody that can't be a fucking, you know, that doesn't have managerial fucking expertise. Alright, the reverse king of pentacles may be a person in your life, and he may be you. Make no mistake, he's a shady character with no moral scruples. He could be a loan shark at your door, an embezzler, a con man, a cowboy builder, a thief, or a corrupt official. Of course, you may not recognize this straight away. If you get involved with him, he will have no conscience about living off you or cunning. Jeez. cunning you out of your money. Things are far more important than people to him. I'll just stop there. Again, I'm trying to see this, and I'm obviously doing healing with Russ from afar. I'm doing my own healing. Fuck him, he's not healing shit. Things are important to him because they bring people. He accumulates people through things. So he finds value in the things only because the people that value them. What do I mean by that? His girlfriend and his family wouldn't feel comfortable in a low vibrational... Okay, no. They're just prissy, bougie people, right? So you couldn't invite them to a family function that was ghettofied. Whatever that means and however that resonates to you. If it was low class, if it wasn't high class, they wouldn't want to be seen anywhere around it because of persecution. Now, if Russ was approached, if a group of his Ghetto Fabulous fans came up to him and they're like scroungy and they're not like wearing designers, and none of his fans really do, he's still grateful to be in that crowd. Where his friends or his girlfriend and his family would mock these people. They look at him as nothing more than porridge on the table. Meaning they have to accept them to get the money that they need out of them, but they would never sit with these people or conversate with these people or take pictures with these people, and they stand back. They'll always stand back around his crowds. His crowds are humble, real people like him, but his family is not. His girlfriend couldn't have a conversation with his fans because they're actually intellectual kind of people. His mom couldn't have a conversation with his fans. Now, these are surface level people, so their surface level conversations are only let to be met at high tea is what we're saying. Damn, Becky, that was good, Pac. These are some high tea. If they're telling the tea, it's at high tea. And they're wearing dresses and they're looking good at the table where we spill the tea and jungle juice. Damn, Pac, I love you. Way to show your fucking energy on the block. Again, he's not them. He's just attached to them and created in this matrix of providing for them. He's not them. He looks like them. He dresses like them. But he doesn't talk like them. And he doesn't think like them. It's like I wouldn't say bodyguards, but like they're like the bricks of the wall that he's locked in. He would be sad if he lost all his things because he wouldn't be able to show you his value. He finds his value in his things. But he couldn't tell you what everything costs, and he wouldn't be that person. Like, he tells you to show you that he was able to get such things because he's always trying to prove to not us, them. Not us, them. Again, in the 3 years I've known him and them, they have never supported any of his works. They don't share his albums. This bitch is sharing it because he wrote the songs about her. So she shared all of that to get her numbers up. And now they're dropping all over again because it's over. The song is over. When it's hot, and then it's not. Because there's nothing about her they like. They just like the song, and she was attached to the song. Now that the song is gone, they don't like her. Why? Because there's nothing to like. That's his girl. They don't have to accept her. They like him. Just because she's with you doesn't mean we have to like you. You have nothing. We like him because of his mentality. You don't think like him. And what you do exhibit of him are his insecurities, his shames and shadows. In the essence, are you going to dumb down Russ and say he's as dumb as Jonica? He has the mentality of a 24-year-old little dress-up insta-ho? Or is that just a girl that he has? Is she as smart as him? Is she as creative as him? Does she have as much life experience, culture, or nothing? No. Does he drag her around to experience life and culture and understanding of creativity? He's inspiring her, but in doing that, he gives so much of his energy to everyone else that he's losing all of his power as they become powerful by sucking the life out of him. Meaning his mom gets to enjoy all of the money that he makes. All of his family gets to enjoy the fruits of his labor. His girl gets to enjoy the fruits of his labor. Do you know what he gets back? He gets back and gets back to work so that they can enjoy the finer things of life. He has fine things, but he doesn't enjoy it because he's too busy providing them a better life. And as he shared, they asked him and he completely went avoidant. All the conversations, I had to turn it off. Every time they asked him a real question, he went avoidant and he derailed the conversation. He tried to make it about something else. The guy asked him, why is it your responsibility to take care of all these people? And he says, what? You don't admit that this is a problem. What kind of fucking therapy can you possibly be doing that they won't tell you to stop this? A friend of your mom is your therapist? Your mom's paying your therapist to tell you not to fucking break this? There's not a therapist in this world, Russell, that wouldn't tell you that this relationship, this financial relationship with your family is extremely unhealthy and it is causing you discord. And the fact that it's playing out in all of your interpersonal relationships. That you're literally paying for sex. If you stopped financing these people, bro, they wouldn't be there for you, and that's what keeps you there is your fear of losing them. But they're living off of you. Come move into my house and not pay shit. See how it really is to be loved for no cost. Motherfucker. I mean, I guess if you want to, I'll get you a job. We'll hide you in real life for a little while. Something your parents didn't do, and they didn't ever have to grow up and get a job, right, Russ? Because you do all the hard work. They got away with not working hard and providing for you, only for you to do it for the rest of their lives. And you stretched the curse not only to, satisfied your parents' cursed life, but now your brother and sister and your girlfriend. Her parents couldn't give her the finer things, so she put herself on the internet to get it, and she got you, who also gives her the finer things for putting herself on the internet. You guys are feeding your own sicknesses, dude. It's really, really not healthy. I've said it since the beginning, and sometimes I get real ugly about it, sometimes I'm forgiving about it, sometimes you're too good for this. You are too good for what you settled for. And you're the one that's keeping yourself in your own hell. And all of us can see outside that is hell. Just like Kanye, and nobody's going to reach in and pull you out of your own hell. Because what? Because we can't tell you shit, right? You got to wait till you learn your own lesson. That's what it is. You can't tell nobody. You got to sit there and wait until they suffer long enough to learn this lesson. To walk out of their own jails. I just want to point out, both of these are in the masculine energy. We are very much in the masculine, taking a lot of action. Why? Because it's summer, we're in the fire. Outcome, please. Hermit. Of course. You go out, only to come back in. You have an adventure. I went to the Chariot. You have an experience, and then you bring that experience and you sit with it. That's what this means. You sit with everything. So when this is all done, and that's what I do, I sit with everything. And that's what I told her. I was like, dude, there was so much yesterday. I was like, I know it looked weird that I didn't ask you one question. I was like, I just needed to sit with it and see what I had, what questions I did have. It was just all in there. I couldn't ask you what I needed to know because you just had, it was all need to know. And that's what the Hermit is about, is going back in the reflection. Legend tells that Merlin became mad after a bloody battle of Alfarid and fled into the forest in despair. Alone without distractions, he reconnected with the raw power of nature and the essence of himself, so that himself that was no longer masked by civilization. And that's your discovery zone, bro, where you pull yourself out of the matrix and you do this work, where you sit by yourself and you will start working through your feelings and your thoughts about what's going on in your life. Merlin harnessed his power to work towards his higher goals and thus became the wise man and the great magician of later tale. But he could have been lost forever in the forest, grubbling around like a savage beast. Meaning, he went in there, after despair. He ran away. He lost a battle and he ran into the woods, you know what I mean? Out of shame. And in there, you know what I mean? Alone without the distractions, he rebuilt himself. But he could have died in there. And there's many of my teachings of the Dark Goddess of how they ran away out of shame, out of, responsibility, all of these things, you know what I mean? What was I hearing? Run away. Mary J. Blige. Okay. When this card appears, it tells you that you're feeling a profound emptiness in your life. But now is not the moment for outward action. Instead, the Hermit advises you to withdraw from distractions of everyday world and spend some time in meditation and maturing reflection. That's what this is for me. It's time to discover your life's purpose and what you really need and where you actually have to go. You can only do this if you stop long enough to listen to the quiet voice of your soul within. Your soul is screaming, especially right now. It's screaming for freedom and adventure. Only thing stopping it is your limiting thoughts of fear. You've got to work through those fears and live out this life that your heart is calling. What this means is sit with your thoughts. We've talked about it. You're ready to take action, right? That's what the Action of Swords means. You've got all these great thoughts. You have to put them into it. Okay, the Master of Coins means coins is reality, right? So you've got to put your thoughts into reality, practically though, at a mastery level. Before you do it, you need to sit with yourself. It's how we're looking at it. Or after you've done it, you're going to need to sit with yourself after you've taken action. And that's usually it. On a Saturday, after you've had to make some decisions, clean out your mind, clean out, change your direction. You have to sit with yourself about it all. And that's that moon, sitting there talking to the moon like, all right, with your feelings and your thoughts. Reverse. The reversed hermit suggests that you've lost your way. It can indicate a midlife crisis or loneliness and isolation. You may be trying to avoid examining your situation too deep for fear of what you will find and the changes you will have to make and the consequence. That's what Russ is doing all the time. He's running from this. He doesn't want to face this. Nobody wants to, dude. And that's Lewis. Bro, Lewis, oh God. He was waking up having to face me every morning. You have to face this, bro. You can't just keep doing this. I mean, you can, but we're 6 months into the year, guys. When are you going to face it? Not this year? At the end of the year? You'll make the changes that we need? You'll start making some of these changes? And then what? You'll be ready by when? You know how big these changes are and how much change you need to make in your life to be happy. You've been thinking about this forever. Perhaps you are covering this up with excessive busyness and mundane activities. On the other hand, you may be too self-obsessed, spending all your time in meditation therapy or on a spiritual learning course in order to avoid engaging with the world and other people. If this is the case, it's time to return from the wilderness and apply your knowledge to do good. And that's me. I was scared about it, but they shoved me back into the world. Only when I was ready, and only where it was right for me, bro. I couldn't just fit anywhere, and that's what I showed her. I was like, I can't be it just like anywhere. I'm very psychic and all that. I just can't be around anybody like that. And that's what you'll realize too. You're special. You can't just fit in everywhere like that. You're not made to fit in and conform and be small and fit in small groups and to have small talk. And that goes back to Russ. He's bigger than the company he keeps. And that goes back to Marshall. Marshall's always been better than the company he keeps. You guys don't understand this, bro. Hate to say it, but Royce is catching on faster than most. No, he's not. Forget it. Never mind. They just showed me something about him and Dre. Never mind. You guys just won't grow up. Because what it means is growing apart means you have to grow up. You won't move on. Because there's nothing, you have no hopes in what to move on to. I guess at your old ass age, you don't believe in new friends and new lovers and new. All you believe in is same old, the OGs. I don't know what you believe in, bro. But if you look at my pictures that I posted, I'm getting younger the older I get. I believe in new. I believe in enjoying the rest. You know, we may not have started the race how we wanted to, Lewis, but we could sure end this life good. We can make a huge impact, dude. We can change some shit, and that change starts with us, and that's my Holy Spirits and everything. And it starts with you by walking away from the shit that's not making you happy, bro. Stop staying in fucking patterns and in lifestyles that don't make you happy. I have no idea what we're going to call this. I guess transcending human conscious is what we're going to call this. And I just showed you how. Through your thoughts and actions, bro. But you're going to have to sit with them. You know what I mean? You're taking action. I said that to the girl today. Right away. I do it right away. I could see through the bullshit. I said, forgive me, but she's doing district manager job, but she's not getting paid district manager pay. I was like, why are you doing all of this? She's like, I don't know, for security. So then if anything ever happened, I said, you're working out of fear. Nothing's ever going to happen, and all you're doing is pulling the weight of other people that can't pull their own weight. They're not paying you to do it. They shouldn't be calling you about scheduling and shit like this. That's a district manager's job. People shouldn't, they know it. They're not supposed to be calling out to a trainer. You know what I mean? They're not supposed to be doing any of this. You're doing district manager level freaking, work without the pay. And she's doing it out of fear. And I just pointed it out. It's like, a lot of the things you do is because, well, I just want to cover my ass just in case. No, that's a stupid reason to be working extra hard just in case. That means you're planning for this to happen and you're covering all your ass. Or you're not, and you're just afraid. You shouldn't live in that kind of fear. Any fear. Fear no evil, fear no man. For God is with you. If this is meant to destroy, it's because it was meant to destroy. And you guys don't like the destruction of anything. You want to hold everything together all perfectly. You will put spit on that shit and fucking tape that shit up and use bubble gum. Anything to keep this relationship together. Anything to hold on to this job, this house, this way of life. Oh, have an adventure. Get a new fucking job, a new life. I'm seeing Wolfman, he's a fucking clown-ass motherfucker. He thinks that just, that's that thing. What we just said is, staying busy just to pretend like you're doing something with your life. He's doing nothing, bro. He's trying to put up a travel channel. He's a tourist. He's a tourist tarot reader on a travel channel. That sounds like an identity crisis to me. And he's old. He's definitely over 35, bro. Seriously? Yeah, bro. He's got to be. If I'm pulling him in on a sexual level, I'm not having sex with little boys. In the essence, he's like almost a grandpa. In the sense, he's not doing anything with his life. There's no progression. He's just moving, and that's what all my boys are doing. They're just getting old. They're not doing anything with their lives. They're doing what everybody else does. Whatever. I don't know. Hey, I gotta go. I love you guys. Damn, 2 hours. That makes up for yesterday. Laters, haters.